And the court battles carried on yesterday with Texas trying to defend SB 4, the immigration law that would allow law enforcement to arrest and deport migrants suspected of crossing the border illegally.
That's right, too far. That's what the Texas Solicitor General said in a New Orleans court concerning the law. Now,
you might recall SB 4 nearly went into effect last month after the Supreme Court reversed a pause ordered by a federal court here in Austin.
Well, that same night, the pause was once again put back in place by the Fifth Circuit Court.
Yeah, and these back and forth arguments solely debating on whether the law should be allowed to go into effect as the legal process plays out.
Now the arguments moving towards deciding if it can legally move forward.
They have tried to develop a statute that goes up to the line of Supreme Court precedent, but allows Texas to protect the border. Now, to be fair, maybe Texas went too far, and that's the question this court's going to have to decide.
And those were the remarks from Texas's Solicitor General there that you heard talk about that it did go too far. And of course, we're going to have so much more on this as the week goes through. But you know, one thing we haven't talked about, Carla, when it comes to SB 4 and if it doesn't pass, which is still up in the air right now, how is that going to affect what comes after? Right? If it does go into effect, that means that the Supreme Court's going to have to go back, reverse maybe a 2012 law that Arizona put in place that this is sort of roughly based around. We might have to revisit immigration law in this country because right now the federal government is in control of all of that. But if Texas does this, clearly that shifts it into the state power. I don't think we've talked about that enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do keep talking about the fact that how it's affecting our communities as well, which is something that people are concerned about. Our viewers are concerned about. Is this going to cost us more in taxes if we do have to, our local law enforcement has to arrest these people, keep them in our jails, which is what's happening right now with those 200 rioters.
I was just going to say, that's what we saw. We talked about this yesterday as well. If you were with us here on KTSM 9 News Today, we're kind of getting a preview of that right now, right? We got so many people in the county jails, which, by the way, are at max capacity the last time we checked because of that. And it's costing taxpayers roughly $86 a day per inmate. It's a lot of money, and it's still playing out in court. So we're going to make sure we keep you updated. Let's take a live